Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. We are going into patch 3.2, and for the last 30 minutes of today's stream, let's hop into it. As it once was. Elfino, Miro, I've been looking all over for you. We've received news regarding Flamen, Tori Boulder, and Coultonay. Really? Has something happened? No, it's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems that once they learned the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsa Laminsa. They should be arriving any moment now. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. And don't you mind being spied on. Wait, but what wonderful news to think that our reunion is close at hand. A pleasure to see you too, Alphino. Ah, Thancred and Kryl. What brings the two of you here? Kryl and I have been looking into how we might track down Minfillia. And we may have found the answer. Miro, when you were fleeing with Ludar with Minfillia, you said that Heidelin spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect that it is not, it seems reasonable to conclude that Heidelin commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Mothercrystal directly interceded to guide Minfillia. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, but I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely leave some residual trace. A lingering disturbance in the ether, or ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found. The battleground where Miro felled the ultimate weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. It was there that Heidelin intervened to shield her from the magic I invoked. Kryl and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the ether within, or therein. The two of you? Alone? I have a proven knack for subterfuge, and I am confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Kryl while the patrols pass. Besides, if you and Miro come along, who will see Fleming and Grand Homecoming? When you put it like that, very well. I will trust in your plan. I know not whether this data will yield a means to find Minfillia, but it will at the very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Suns and make preparations for our comrades' return. Might I impose upon you to meet them at the Laminsan docks? Then I shall see the four of you at the Rising Suns. Safe travels. So it was during this patch, so during patch 3.1, they released the 24-man raid for this expansion. In patch 3.2, we got the next Wing of Alexander. Oh, Miro, how have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Thank the 12. One hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried about you all every day. Well, we would have sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Tataru found her way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hanish vessel. It pained us not to being there when you needed us most. But we made the most of it, didn't we, Coultonay? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with that vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I will be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Forgive me, I am sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. As Thancred must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return and busy myself in the meantime. For certainty, there is much and more to be done. The braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Aye, that's the spirit. To the Scions and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Good old Hoary Boulder. Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stones.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfillia described, you know. I don't think you favoured me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfillia is dear to me, it is true, but not in the way you think. 15 years passed when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Uldar. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed. I feared she would never recover, but in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoire, every Scion's. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfillia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfillia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
None of that bot nonsense. There you go, we got a bit of a history lesson on Minfillia and Thancred there. Back to the Rising Stones. Feels good to be home again. To think that everyone is waiting for us just beyond those doors. Friends and family with whom we have shared so much. Gods help me, the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Come, let us not keep them waiting. Alright. Alright. Lemon. Elian, FME. It fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what of Higiri? She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. Alright, here's Artemis. I don't know who the fuck this is, but he's here. Ah, we could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with stalwart companions. Brings a bloody tear to the eye. To secret oneself in a ship's hold, to secure a safe passage to a faraway land. This is a tale we all know too well. When they were well rested, I would like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there's no need to be shy. Pray grant me a moment longer, at least. Though I am happy to oblige you, my legs are rather less accommodating. It's horrid Boulder. What? Why is there somebody else named Boulder? When did Ocker Boulder get here? Akka, what in the seven hells drove my little brother to come to Mordona? Why you, brother? You and the Scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained, that I might grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. Yet now that you are here, I sense that you have surpassed me once more. No, do not tell me. You trained with the Hanish, did you not? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the braves, and drunk deep of the souls of mine enemies. Glad though I am to return home, I cannot help to think but those who have yet to return. Once we've settled in, I would join the search. Who the fuck are you, Clemens? Who the fuck are you, Vimatia? Vimatia? It's been so long since I've seen them like this. Too long. It was the chaos born of my foolish ambition which forced them to flee. Though they have returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphino. I know we will. Minfillia, Ida, Papolino, every last one. And when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. Alright, we can take steamed staff or sesame cookies. Let's take this cookie. Alright, Alphino. The word of the mother. Tancred and Cryo contacted us a short while ago. It would seem that their foray into Castor Meridianum bore fruit. They asked that we rendezvous with them in Ishula in Idleshire, where they will share their findings. Rude though it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor, I expect she will forgive me if I return with her daughter. Alright, fuck off. New Idleshire. There we go. Hey there, Cryo. My apologies. I see I'm the last to arrive. So, what news have you for us? Well, as we postulated, there were indeed what appeared to be the remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the ether at the scene of the ultimate weapon's destruction, a ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, which I believe Hydaelyn shielded me with the blessing of light. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Silde aqueducts. There we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect of a more recent disturbance. Hydaelyn, there is no other explanation. But there is more. When I studied the site where Stola used flow, it appeared that not 2 but 3 beings had been affected. Yet unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in a sea of ether. Though this too is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that, when communing with Hydaelyn, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let us consider the facts. 1. Hydaelyn interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Y'shtola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Hydaelyn may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You are implying, I take it, that Hydaelyn guided Minfillia into the compass of my magic so that she may summon her body and soul under the ethereal sea? In which case, we must needs continue our search there. For a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Antitower, a Charlian construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I do not know where its entrance lies, I need only ask its last custodian. A contrary old crone, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Antitower? I had no idea. Then our course is clear. We must petition her aid at once. Alright. Well then. We gotta go through the prologue gate. As we once again get to go talk to Matoya. It's foggy here. By the way, the reward for this quest is the best reward possible. You shall see when we get it. Alright. It took us a bit to get out here, of course, because she decides to live the way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. Look at all the gems. It's great. Oh, what a surprise! Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Though it pains me to admit it, your word strike is close to the mark. We humbly ask that you grant us entry to the Antitower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the ethereal sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? Y'shtola. The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now. If that is no deterrent to you, then by all means. Is that all? I felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Four hoisted the title on me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Antitower was sealed save one. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the wards now, right now. Will you be going or not? We will, Miss Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfillia. We'll see about that. You, Baldessian girl. You're staying here with me. I need your help to restore the wards to their original state. The rest of you can go, on the condition that you clean up the mess in the tower. If you encounter any unruly familiars, you're to tend to them. Those are my terms, and I'll hear no argument. Well, it appears the mistress has spoken. Lead the way, Miro. The anti-tower, now accessible. Alright, so this will be the last thing we do on stream today, guys, is the anti-tower. The anti-tower is a good dungeon. It has jobs, but it also is an upsetting dungeon because it makes you fight jobs. But in all of creation, what greater mystery could there be than the fate of this very star? To sound the deepest depths, to study the ethereal sea itself, for these proposes and more was this anti-tower built. Or purposes, not proposes, purposes and more. Abandoned by her Charlian caretakers following the Exodus, it has since been overrun by the magical guardians they left behind. Yet, were one blessed with her gift to brave these dangers, to descend to the furthest reaches, to hear, feel, and think at the heart of this world, what would they find? Alright, so the anti-tower is a very interesting dungeon. Do we support the anti-tower? In it, we get to bring Thancred, who is gone back to his gladiatorial roots and is going to be a tank, apparently. Alphino, who's going to be a DPS, and Ishtola, or Alphino's a healer, and Ishtola, who's going to be a DPS. So, cool. Here we go. Anti-tower away. Yeah, like Ibsen's castle in Final Fantasy IX, the anti-tower is upside down. Also, we're gonna eat one of those foods that we got. Longest tenacity. Let's see. Raptor stew? No. Let's eat the raptor stew. When I used to come here before with my other character, I wouldn't fight Porogo. I don't fight Jebs. If I can help it. Something of the Seventh Dawn. I don't know what the name of that is. Oh, Arrow 2 of the Seventh Dawn. Okay, it's interesting. She's still casting wind magic and whatnot. I guess technically she is a conjurer, but she's like a DPS conjurer, and he's like a healer arcanist. What is going on? I kind of wish they had let one of the Jubs tank for me again. That would have been better. At least I think it would have been. And here we go, we're gonna bounce a little closer to the castle.
Try this!
I didn't realize he's not even tanking with a shield. He's just using a one-handed sword. Alright. And here we are at our first boss. His name is Zurorogo, and he is a very healthy job. Alright. Ooh, there's the Bug's Tower. One with ears to listen? Oh, wonderful. My question is, how did they change this fight?
Focus. Release!
No, don't make. Oh shit. I turned into a job, guys. It's the most exciting thing ever. The particular attack he's doing right now, you just move out of it because it's continual.
Focus. Release! No mistakes!
It's not easy being broke. I'm afraid I never hear that song again. Get a Javanian Ring of Slaying. Alright guys, look at us. We're flying onwards. You traveled down the up staircase. Oh, this fucking place.
There!
So these guys will usually have an AoE around them called Death Trap or something of the sort. I don't know if these particular mimics do, but usually. Alright. I like random void zone type places, and this place very much feels like a void zone with like magical contrivances. You got all these like cabinets that spawn elementals, weird spriggans, mimics. the pathways, some of them are made up of
Try this!
tables and whatnot. Yeah, tables, cabinets, bookshelf, picture frame. When we finish this too, we'll get a bunch of more poetics, which I'll have enough to get the chess piece that I wanted as well. Which is awesome. Okay. This one's gonna have even more trash on it.
Yeah.
When we defeat that friggin' doorkeeper here, something else should spawn. Or rather, before we defeat it. Now I got an achievement to crush your enemies 4. That one is for defeating 5,000 enemies. Cool.
Away with you!
Alright. Easy peasy. Here. Our next boss is Ziggy. Ziggy is a Spriggan riding on this. Ziggy Zoom!
No mistakes!
Glittering glare.
Away with you!
Ziggy takes aim. Alright, I gotta put my wind buff back on. Mostly the same, but there are some slight differences. Jittering jab. It's on Miro.
I have my pride.
He has his pride. Gyrating glare. That did a nice chunk of damage. Evading wrist gloves of aiming. Okay, so now we are in what looks like a upside down hallway. Look at those fountains flowing upwards. Look at this chandelier. Wind Up Viking and Wind Up Magus. These guys look like they're FF3/5 counterparts in a way. Usually you want to kill the Maguses first, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, moving on. So yeah, there's a lot of references here, guys, between FF3 and FF5 with the Viking and Maguses, but also FF9 with Ixen's castle, the upside down castle. Oh damn, I didn't take him sooner. There's one other reference in this place that I think you guys will like. Team got fucked up there. Testing stars, man. Okay, down he goes. Got one more set, I think. Yeah, this one here is going to be split up into a few. And when you kill one of them, I'm pretty sure, I was about to say certain.
Away with you!
I'm pretty certain that the next that'll spawn, no, you gotta kill both of them, okay. There they go. Only we could kill him, but 1 second sooner. And then the last one has a lot more in it. I should be AoEing at this point. Much more bang for my buck. And then they do that. And then they do that. Two Centurions without birth. I'm kind of surprised about that. Only you could change jobs mid-fight in a sexy pose like FF10 Alas, no changing jobs mid-fight. But we do have this. We are Calcabrina! Adorable dolls, terrible dolls! Yip ho ho! That's right. These little fucking dolls we've seen before. These are from Final Fantasy IV. And it's even the same music from FF4. I grabbed a screen grab of our playthrough of it. Alright. Not creepy at all. They're actually crying, that's creepy. I never noticed that. As you can see, they die really easy. Easy boss.
Try this! Away with you!
So when she uses Brace, she can only attack her from the side that didn't have a shield. So I went to the front and used, I mean, afflicted with Dollhouse. Welcome to the Dollhouse. So what they gotta do is they gotta break you out of this while she smashes her face into the ground over and over again. And then Alphino stands in the attack and gets hit like a fucking idiot.
No mistakes! No mistakes!
And then Thancred yells no mistakes over and over again. So for this, you just want to look away. Why are you stacked right on Thancred? Dollhouse.
There! Focus. Release!
No Dollhouse for you. Okay, so that fight there was also referenced in FF4. As you can see, there's our playthrough there with Calcabrina, the boss. That was our Pixel Remaster playthrough we did earlier this year, and I guess maybe late last year. Either way, yeah, you guys can see the boss there on screen. Very cool. Alright, let's see if we can find Minfillia as the last thing we do on stream.
Hear, feel, think. Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst. We are the word of the Mother. We, who were once called Minfillia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we had lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
You've had another vision, haven't you? Let us return to Master Matoya's cave. Everyone will wish to hear what you saw.
Still in one piece, are we? Well, did you learn anything?
The word of the mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfillia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfillia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No. No, this is all wrong.
Well, on the bright side, she's not coming back, is she? She did what she thought was best. I know that, I do. To give all her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. The greater calling could be there. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice, the loss. And our reward? Poor Rogo! Enchanted familiar though it may be, kissing it will do nothing to alter its corporeal form. We get a little frog minion. This is the greatest quest. This war of ours. I must ask that you do not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones. Especially Flamin. I will brief Tataru on what we have learned, as well as Urianger. He may have insight into what the word had told us. As for you, Miro, after all you've done, I would say you've earned a rest. We don't get a rest. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Emmerich while you were away. It seems he is planning a ceremony of some sorts and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit, which we will do on Monday. So, guys, we went over long today, but that's because we started late. But we got so much done. We finished off the main story of Heaven's Word. We got to do the Aerochemical Research Facility. We defeated the Singularity Reactor, which was the ever-awesome Knights of the Round Summon fight. We got through a whole bunch of the post-story quests in that we are already done patch 3.1. We are on 3.2 now. We have 3.3, 3.4, and 3.5 to do, but they're all very short in comparison to A Realm Reborn. So lots of stuff done. We are going to be heading into Stormblood somewhat soon. So, YouTube, thank you very much for viewing.